now I live here.
I moved out of my parents' house. I moved into a house. I have a roommate, and it all happened so fast. So I was going to be moving out of my parents' house at some point this year. That was the goal. At the beginning of the year, I kind of set that goal for myself. I didn't know how I was going to make it happen or, when it was going to happen. But I figured it would probably be maybe the summertime. I had plans to move in with some friends, and then I thought about maybe getting a place by myself. I thought about moving in with Austin, who is my new roommate. And I had a couple of other different random options and plans and prospects. But this ended up being my decision, which was to leave my parents' house and jump over the river as the true Mexican that I am and come over to where I am now. It's been exhausting. Originally, we were supposed to move into this house at May. I think maybe towards the end of May is what we were kind of thinking. Everything ended up getting handled and signed and whatnot a lot quicker. It's a very old house. It's over 100 years old or something crazy. I don't know. It has to be remodeled, redone. We're getting new floors. I say we. I'm not obviously paying for any of that. I'm a measly retail worker. But Austin is redoing the house. So he's redoing bathrooms and floors, and we don't have any furniture. We don't have anything. I got my bed at an estate sale a couple of days ago. Other than that, everything that I have is just my clothes and my makeup and stuff like that. I bought this lamp and I brought my mirror from my room at my parents' house, but that's kind of it. And so I have been super stressed out trying to hurry up and finish the room and hurry up and get it to where it feels like a home. And one of my best friends was like, you need to calm down because it's not going to happen this week, maybe not even next week. In fact, it might take you a few weeks and a couple of months before you really make this house your own and this room your own. So yeah, it's been very exciting, very overwhelming. There's a whole different level of being outside of my parents' house that I feel like some of you will relate to and some of you may not. For me, it was crucial getting out of that house, kind of as soon as possible because of certain situations. I lived with my parents, and my dad specifically is very, very protective to the point where it can feel very suffocating. As a now almost 24-year-old woman who wants to go out and live her life and just, be able to go and make mistakes and fall on my face without getting judged or getting laughed at, I wanted to leave. I think for the most part, I kind of said, yeah, I'll do it. I'm gonna do it. But I never made a plan to do it. And so this almost felt like the universe or God or whatever you want to believe in was like, I'm gonna flick you out of their house because you need to get out. It felt like it was holding me back. And that's very difficult to say now, looking back on it, because I don't really think that I realized just how much it was kind of withholding me from living my life the way that I want to live it, or even just living in general. Because, like I said, my dad was very strict. He didn't really let me do a lot of the things that I wanted to do. I hid my tattoos from him till I was 22, 21. And that was because I had moved out of the house, and so he couldn't control me anymore. I can go do whatever the fuck I want. And then, unfortunately, I ended up having to move back in. And don't get me wrong, I'm incredibly grateful for everything that my parents ever provided for me. Obviously, I didn't pay bills. I paid, like, groceries. I pay all of my stuff now. But obviously, they never charged me rent or said, hey, you have to pay this bill or something like that. They tried to get me to do it, but I never really did. So thank you to Mom and Dad for doing that for me. So it's been great. I am almost overwhelmed with the amount of freedom I have now, because I'm not kidding when I say that I wasn't allowed to do a lot. I was not allowed to do a lot. Even as a 23-year-old woman, I was not allowed to do a lot. It was always an argument, or it was always made into a bigger deal. And now that's something that I kind of struggle with myself, making big deals out of little things. And it's like little behavioral patterns like that and little habits that I pick up in myself that I learned from that household, obviously living there for however many years, I now want to undo, because I realize that they're not that great, and I don't want to be like that. I want to be healthy, and I want to be happy, and I want to feel good about being happy. I want to actually feel like I deserve to be happy, and I deserve to be free, and I deserve to go do whatever I want without, having to answer to somebody or justify what I'm doing or what I'm saying or what I'm eating or dressing. And you guys can see me taking off my socks. If you're interested in feet pics, let me know. I'm trying to get into that business because, we have to pay rent now. I've been very busy. Faith and I bought some armchairs because we're going to be turning one of the bedrooms into an office space where hopefully we can record the FLIZ on a weekly basis. That's literally why we haven't been able to record. This happened so fast, and we've been trying to coordinate schedules, and there's been even more drama in our personal life just with everything. Yeah, life is very weird. Everything that's happened to me over the last year to like a year and a half is stuff that I never, ever, ever imagined would happen to me. I just didn't ever think that so much of what I've experienced would ever, ever, ever be in my life. And I feel like had I known that all of that would have happened, like if you had asked me 2 years ago, do you think you can handle all of this? Do you think this is going to happen to you, or it could happen to you? I probably would have been like, nah, not me. There's no way. I'm just Liz. I don't do anything. I'm a little hermit crab and I stay in my shell. Here I am on the 2nd of March of 2020 in this position, this chapter of my life that's starting, and it's crazy. That's why I wanted to take my phone out and just record, because I feel like I've had so many different thoughts running through my head over the last few days about everything, and I just needed to get it out, kind of almost document it to kind of remind myself. Maybe I can watch this in a couple of years, or even just kind of in a couple of months, reflect back to this and hopefully reflect from a place where we are happier, healthier, just more positive and more secure and confident in ourselves. So yeah, I had to work at 6 a.m. today, and I have to work again tomorrow at 6 a.m. It's another weird thing having to be your own parent. Having to be your own parent and actually having to discipline. I have to now be my own parent. And because it's been so crazy and busy and hectic, all I've been eating is junk food and fast food because, we don't have time. I need to go to work, and then I need to pack, and then I need to unpack, and then I need to go get these chairs. I want to go hit these estate sales so that I can find a bed or a dresser or whatever it is. And I have a million things to do, and I want to paint my walls, and I want to get some curtains up because I'm tired of feeling like my neighbors might be looking at me. So I had to discipline myself and say, we're going to go get groceries and you're going to get some healthy shit, because you can't eat like crap. Because when you did eat like crap, when you were off at college and you weren't living with your parents, you gained 30 pounds. And as you guys can see, if you've been following me for a while, I lost a lot of that weight because over the last year, I started taking better care of myself, but I also, at the same time, went through a very, very deep anxiety and depression, like, period at one point, kind of in the middle. So now having to say, Liz, you have to drink water, you have to take your medicine, you have to eat your apples and take your vitamins and go to the gym and actually, you know, take care of yourself. Not just the physical stuff, but also check in with myself mentally, because for me, mental health is such an important part of my life now over the last few years that it's important for me to be able to sit down and write and journal or meditate or do yoga or anything that really just helps my mind balance out, make sure that I'm okay emotionally, mentally, physically, spiritually, whatever, so forth and so on. So yeah, I would show you guys my room, but it's kind of a mess and I want to decorate it. If I do like a room makeover, then I will for sure insert like before and afters and whatnot, because I think this is another really like exciting part about being in this house, is now wanting to do stuff like this, because I got like a tiny hint of that inspiration back in September when I made that one video. And I actually watched it back a couple of weeks ago for the first time since like back then, and it was not that bad. I think I did a pretty good job on it, so maybe we will keep learning this year how to edit, and who knows, you guys may see more vlogs, anything that I want to film, save as a little memory for myself, because I have a terrible memory and this stuff is really helpful for me. So yeah, I'm home alone right now. I got bored and I didn't know what to do. I was overwhelmed with how much I can do now. I can leave the house at whatever time I want and I'm not gonna be bothered. I'm not gonna be like scolded for it. I can come and go as I please. Nietzsche just scared the shit out of me. Hi, Nietzsche. She's not interested. Come here. She has been having a tough time adjusting to the house because it's a lot bigger than what she was used to, huh? The first time I met her, she expressed her anal gland fluids on me, and you know, I think we've been okay ever since. I think she did it kind of out of love that time, I'm not gonna lie. We have a little room underneath the staircase. Ironically, the first time, or like one of the first few days that we were in the house, I called it the panic room, because if any of you guys watch Shane Dawson, then you guys may or may not know that in his house, in his new house that he lives in right now, he has a panic room, and his fiance like actually decorated it for him, and it's a small ass room, and ours is even smaller. So I just called it the panic room because I thought it was funny, and that's what it made me think of. The next day, little Nietzsche here was brand new to the house. It was the first time Austin had brought her over, and we could not find her anywhere. I wasn't really checking any of the rooms that were closed because I just assumed that there's no way she got in there because they're closed. And finally, I checked the panic room, and there she was in the very bottom corner, just like curled up in a little ball, and you could tell she was super stressed out. I think she's slowly getting used to it. There's been people that she knows, I think, kind of going in and out of the house. I've never had a cat before, and already I can tell you guys I'm not a fan of the smell of a litter box. It's absolutely terrible. But you are so cute that it doesn't even matter. Yeah. Are you okay? Are you doing better? Huh? I am hopefully gonna get a dog soon because now I can. It's not that I couldn't before, but my dad wasn't a huge fan of animals. Some of you guys may remember that I had a little black dog that my parents adopted on my birthday last year, a little black dog, Leo. And Leo was a very, very sweet puppy, and he had like the purest little heart. But unfortunately, we ended up taking him back to the pound because it's difficult for me to like talk about that because I feel like a part of me just gave up and I didn't try. But I know that we made the right decision because we were not in a position where we could fully give Leo our attention. I work, like almost 40 hours a week, or at that point I was working almost 40 hours a week, and I was coming home late at night. My parents would work all day. My brother goes to school and he plays soccer. Oh, and he was in band or something. And so we didn't really have anyone home hardly, so we couldn't walk him. We'd come home exhausted, and Leo was always so full of energy because obviously none of us really got a chance to interact with him. And so we didn't really have the scheduling and the timing right. And then because he was such a puppy almost, he was almost a year old, but he had never been in a home, and so he didn't have any house training at all. We'd come home exhausted. We would, try and train him when we weren't exhausted and we had time off, and it wasn't impossible. Like I definitely know that I could have tried harder. I could have given him more of my time, but I also was going through so much shit, and my parents kind of randomly decided to adopt him. I hadn't met him, so that was another kind of little issue, was that I didn't really feel like I had a connection to him. Some of you guys may think that's stupid, but sometimes you just, when you adopt a dog or when you get a dog, you instantly click sometimes, and sometimes it takes a couple of weeks for that bond to kind of be there. With Leo, I just never felt like he was my dog. I felt like he was a dog that I was asked to like babysit for a minute, and I couldn't really because I was working and I was going through shit. And so we took him back to the animal shelter, and it took me like a couple of days to get him somewhere. I didn't want to just like drop him somewhere or give him to someone, because I didn't have like the time to interview someone. After I think 2 or 3 days, I was able to get him into a shelter. I haven't checked up on him. That was a couple of months ago now, but as sweet as he was, I'm sure he got adopted. I feel like he did. So yeah, now we have a little niche here. And until she gets adjusted, we probably won't do anything. We think we want to get some chickens, so that'll be an experience. My grandma had chickens in Mexico, and she sent me out there one time to like get like a pan she had left in the shed or something like that. And the whole time I was freaking out. I was thinking these chickens were gonna attack me. I swear every person that I've ever talked to about having chickens as pets has some kind of horror story about them being chased or them being clawed. And then, as a little vegetarian, almost veganish that I am, I've also seen so many cute stories about chickens being like super sweet pets and being really like affectionate and stuff. So we shall see how that goes. We don't have any hot water at the house. Real quick, can I just say, so we moved in over the weekend, and last night I was exhausted. I was mentally drained, physically drained. I had worked or whatever. Actually, I was off yesterday, but we were so busy like doing stuff around the house and painting and whatnot, that when the time finally came, I was like, okay, I have to go to the gym to take a shower. I'm not super excited because it's the gym. I've never showered at the gym, and I don't know how it's gonna go. I've never done this before, and so yep, the time came and I packed up all of my stuff. I drove to Target to get a towel because I don't even have towels. And as I got into the parking lot, I realized that I had left my wallet. Not only had I left my wallet, but my Planet Fitness membership card was inside of my wallet because it had literally just fallen off of my keys maybe like 2 or 3 days before that. So, you know, we didn't cry about it, and that's progress for me. Went back to the house, got my wallet, and then went to the gym. And I literally walked in there looking so bad, hair greasy. I had my backpack, and then in my hands I had my towel, and like I gave this man my like jank broken membership ripped up card, and he like looked at me like, ooh. I'm not kidding, that shower ended up being one of the best showers that I've ever had. Like, I would rate that shower 7.9 out of 10. My only complaint is that it was a very, very small shower, and obviously they're not very private because like you have to walk across like the shower, walk across to the room where you leave your stuff. It was like such a nice shower. Like the water was perfect temperature. I was so impressed. And I literally texted my mom and my brother, and I was like, why did I just have like one of the best showers ever at the gym? I think it's also because the bathroom that I had at my parents' house, the water pressure was awful. First world problem. Coronavirus is out here killing people, and I'm talking about showers and water pressure. So anyway, Nietzsche, do you have any final thoughts? Oh, she did not like that. So yeah, there's a little life update for you. There's a lot more heavy shit going on in my life. This move has taken precedence. I am very, very happy to be in this space. I'm also very nervous. I do have a little bit of anxiety because it's so out of my element to have done something like this. You know, there's things that could go wrong, and then there's things that can go very right. So we shall see what happens over the next few months. Yeah. I hope you guys are all doing well. I hope you guys have a good week. And I'll see you guys very soon. Hopefully. Maybe.